dedicated to delivering value and interpreting great books from around the world. Hello, this is Sally's Book Talk. Today we're diving into the book, The Everything Store. Subtitle, Jeff Bezos and the Age of Amazon. As one of the earliest e-commerce companies, Amazon's market value once soared past $1 trillion, making it the second U.S. publicly traded company after Apple to hit that milestone. So what does $1 trillion market cap actually mean? Well, it's roughly equivalent to Alibaba and Tencent's combined market value, or about the annual GDP of the Netherlands. Founded in 1995, Amazon weathered the dot-com bubble burst and emerged as one of the world's largest tech giants. What exactly did Amazon get right over these 2 decades? How did founder Jeff Bezos steer this incredible growth? The Everything Store? This book holds the answers. Published in 2013 by Brad Stone, a senior writer at Bloomberg Businessweek who specializes in future-focused tech companies and has penned cover stories on Apple, Google, and Amazon. Stone conducted over 300 interviews with Amazon executives, employees, CEO Bezos, and his family to uncover Amazon's growth secrets, culminating in the Everything Store. The book is packed with insider revelations and juicy gossip, which is precisely where the controversy stems from. Bezos' wife, now ex-wife Mackenzie, promptly gave it a 1-star review on Amazon. She felt the book portrayed Bezos too harshly, depicting him as a cutthroat entrepreneur who'd stop at nothing to succeed. But that didn't dampen reader enthusiasm for the Everything Store. In late 2013, it was named Best Business Book of the Year by the Financial Times and Goldman Sachs. Through this book, we'll discover a different Amazon and Bezos, witnessing how countless transformations, big and small, shaped this business empire. I'll trace Amazon's journey through 3 pivotal transformations, along with the story of the man behind it all, Jeff Bezos' story. The first transformation, Bezos' leap from hedge fund VP to scrappy startup founder. But let's start from his childhood. Raised in a loving home, Bezos displayed remarkable persistence and focus from an early age. At age 3, wanting a big bed, he took a screwdriver and dismantled his crib. His mom took him to the park to ride spinning boats while other kids were rushing around. While his mom waved, Bezos was staring at the belts and pulleys on the amusement ride. At 8, completely fascinated, young Bezos led friends to connect discarded typewriters and computers, teaching himself programming to develop an early Star Trek game. In high school, Bezos maintained straight A's and held the top science student title for 3 consecutive years. He got into Princeton University, earned dual bachelor's degrees in electrical engineering and computer science, and delivered the valedictorian speech at graduation. Overall, during his school years, Bezos didn't do anything dramatic like dropping out to start a business. He always came across as a model student. After graduating from Princeton in 1986, Bezos mainly worked in the internet finance sector. Before founding Amazon, he was already one of the youngest vice presidents at D.E. Shaw on Wall Street. It was a fund company founded by David, a Stanford PhD in computer science, who pioneered using computers for rapid stock trades to profit from price differences. Back then, the financial world knew little about such behind-the-scenes operations. D.E. Shaw was quietly raking in huge profits during that phase. Despite this, Bezos turned his attention to a more promising field. One day, in 1994, while web surfing, he noticed statistics showing internet usage growing at 2,300% annually. This revelation made him see the web's massive business potential. He then asked himself, at 80, would he regret leaving Wall Street's lucrative pucks? The answer was no. Would he regret missing the internet wave? Absolutely yes. So he resolutely chose to leave Wall Street. Bezos called this the regret minimization framework. At life's critical moments, choose the path you'll least regret. Thus, Bezos left Wall Street and began his entrepreneurial journey. Though brief, this Wall Street experience profoundly shaped him. While Amazon might seem like just moving physical stores online, its success comes from boldly ditching retail thinking and adopting a technology-driven internet mindset. We'll cover specifics later, but Amazon also copied B.E. Shaw's hiring practices. Bezos believed hiring the smartest employees was key to success. He personally interviewed promising candidates and asked for their SAT scores, which are like China's college entrance exams. He demanded each new hire be better than the last, and as a workaholic, he expected the same dedication from everyone. And if anyone tried to balance work and family, Bezos would shut them out without hesitation. When the company launched, Bezos' wife, Mackenzie, handled accounting and HR. Their first employee was Kei-Fin, a math graduate from UC, who became the tech lead. The three converted a garage into an office, used door planks as desks, and just like that, they opened shop simply. Bezos' original idea was to create the everything store, but he thought starting with all products wasn't realistic. After much thought, Bezos set his sights on books. First, books are standardized, identical in any store, so customers don't need to scrutinize them. Second, there's huge variety, millions of books in print worldwide, and the internet lets customers enjoy endless choices. Online book shopping was awful back then, and Bezos was eager to seize this chance, aiming to build the world's largest bookstore. The name Amazon for this online bookstore shows Bezos' ambition. He said the Amazon isn't just the world's longest river, but also many times larger than any other. It could drown any other river. In the spring of 1995, Amazon's beta version went live. At first, when Amazon got an order, they'd buy the book from a wholesaler and ship it to the customer. That wholesalers required a minimum order of 10 books, and Amazon didn't have that much demand yet. What could they do? They discovered a loophole in the wholesalers' ordering rules. You didn't actually need to buy 10 books, but had to order at least 10. So they devised a strategy. Order one actual book plus 9 others. The wholesaler was out of stock. The wholesaler would ship the one available book with a note saying, "Sorry, we're out of stock." Initially, Amazon had so few orders that when the new order chime sounded, everyone would crowd around to see if it was someone they knew. But within weeks, they had to disable that constantly ringing alert. Why the sudden user explosion? It came down to Amazon's pricing strategy. Buying bestsellers at 50% off from wholesalers and selling them at 40% discount. Other books sold at 10% discount. This loss leader approach attracted Amazon's first wave of users. To boost orders, Amazon created another clever tactic, using other websites to link customers to Amazon for purchases. They offered 8% commissions to these sites, a referral strategy later copied by countless e-commerce platforms. Within months, nearly all internet users knew about Amazon. Someone from Ohio wrote, "My nearest bookstore is 50 miles away. Amazon is a godsend." And so an online bookstore was born through trial and error. Bezos once said, "I don't regret failures, but I'd regret not trying." His regret minimization framework truly guided him to a choice he'd never regret. Now let's discuss Amazon's second transformation. From online bookstore to everything store. This shift was driven by Amazon's customer-obsessed values. By 1996, Amazon's orders were skyrocketing. Bezos realized online department stores were viable. After going public in May 1997, he prioritized expansion, scaling product categories, massive hiring, and funding growth to become the largest online retailer. How to achieve this dream? Internally, Amazon developed the famous flywheel theory, envisioning the company as a giant wheel. Getting it moving at first is really tough, but once you put all your strength into spinning it, it gets easier and easier. He described a virtuous cycle. Better user experience brings more traffic, which attracts more sellers to sell online. The company then leverages its scale to demand better products from suppliers, which further enhances the customer experience. As the flywheel grows, operating costs get distributed, cost structures become more efficient, and savings get passed to customers through lower prices, boosting their experience even more. So, how do you start this massive wheel turning? Bezos believed the gears needed to leverage each other by returning to users' fundamental needs. To create better experiences, Amazon used its tech edge for innovations like their 1996 personalized recommendation system. Today, personalized recommendations on shopping sites are everywhere. But 20 years ago, this was revolutionary. Amazon initially promised investors customized pages for customers. Their first idea was having customers review books, then recommending titles based on preferences. But customers rarely write reviews, so they pivoted, recommending books solely based on purchase history. This move paid off massively. Sales skyrocketed immediately after launch. Bezos once jokingly knelt before the project lead saying, "I submit to you," laying the foundation for Amazon's personalization business. Capturing personal traits is where e-commerce outshines physical stores, which can only track overall trends, not individual preferences, forcing broad marketing where customers self-select. E-commerce doesn't just offer convenience, it revolutionizes advertising, leaving traditional retail far behind. To reduce shopping friction, Amazon introduced one-click ordering with pre-saved payment and shipping details. When customers order, just one click completes the transaction effortlessly. This small tweak added millions in annual revenue for Amazon. For online shoppers, the biggest concerns are fast shipping and whether it's free. So Amazon established fulfillment centers to boost logistics efficiency. Initially, Amazon used third-party sorting machines. Workers gathered batch orders for collective picking before machines redistributed items. For example, order A, 1 orange, 2 apples. Order B, 2 oranges, 1 apple. Workers had to gather all 3 oranges and 3 apples first. Just created a problem. If the apple picker was slow, wouldn't that waste time and reduce efficiency? So Amazon ditched third-party systems, developed its own software, and had workers pick items per order directly, dramatically improving efficiency. Amazon's efficient delivery and precision service made it stand out from competitors. In 2004, an employee suggested a fast shipping club modeled after music subscription services. Customers would pay a monthly fee for free, speedy delivery. Bezos loved the idea, but finance immediately opposed it. Calculations showed it'd lose money based on shipping costs. It could drown any other river. In spring 1995, Amazon's beta version launched. Initially, after receiving orders, Amazon bought books from wholesalers and shipped them to customers. But wholesalers required minimum orders of 10 books. Amazon's sales weren't that high yet. What could they do? They found a loophole. You didn't need to actually buy 10 books, just order at least 10. So they ordered one real book plus 9 out-of-stock titles. The wholesaler shipped the one available with a note, "Sorry, we're out of stock." In the very beginning, Amazon had so few orders that whenever the new order alert chimed, everyone would crowd around to see if it was someone they knew. But within weeks, they had to disable that constantly ringing notification. And why the sudden user explosion? It came down to Amazon's pricing strategy, buying bestsellers at 50% off from wholesalers and selling them at 40% discount. Other books sold at 10% discount? This loss leader tactic attracted Amazon's first wave of users. To boost orders, Amazon created another clever move, getting other websites to link customers to Amazon for purchases. They offered 8% commissions to these sites, a referral strategy later copied by countless e-commerce platforms. Within months, nearly every internet user knew about Amazon. Someone from Ohio wrote, "My nearest bookstore is 50 miles away. Amazon is a godsend." And so an online bookstore was born through trial and error. Bezos once said, "I don't regret failures, but I'd regret not trying." His regret minimization framework truly guided him to a choice he'd never regret. Now let's discuss Amazon's second transformation. From online bookstore to everything store. This shift was driven by Amazon's customer-obsessed values. By 1996, Amazon's orders were skyrocketing. Bezos realized online department stores were truly viable. After going public in May 1997, he prioritized expansion, scaling product categories, massive hiring, and aggressive growth to become the largest online retailer. How to achieve this dream? Internally, Amazon developed the famous flywheel theory, envisioning the company as a giant wheel. Getting it moving initially takes huge effort, but once you build momentum, it spins easier and easier. He described a virtuous cycle. Better user experience brings more traffic, attracting more sellers to the platform. The company then leverages scale to demand better supplier terms, which further improves customer experience. As the flywheel keeps growing, operating costs get spread out, cost structures become more efficient, and savings can be passed back to customers, letting them enjoy lower-priced quality services and further boosting the user experience. So how do you get this massive wheel started? Bezos believed that to get the gears leveraging each other and spinning, you need to go back to users' fundamental needs. To create better user experiences, Amazon used its tech edge for all kinds of innovations, like the personalized recommendation service they rolled out in 1996. Nowadays, personalized recommendations on shopping sites are super common. At 20 years ago, this was a totally game-changing idea. Amazon promised investors from the get-go that they'd build customized pages for customers. Their first idea was to have customers review books and then recommend titles based on their tastes. Thing is, customers are lazy about writing reviews. So they switched it up and just recommended book lists based solely on customers' purchase histories. This move paid off big time. Sales shot up right after the system went live. Bezos walked into the project lead's office, knelt on the floor, and joked, "I willingly bow down to you." This laid the groundwork for Amazon's personalization biz. Capturing customers' personalized traits is key to e-commerce. Compared to physical stores, it's a huge edge. Physical shops can only track overall market trends, not individual preferences, so they have to use broad marketing, letting customers pick what they want. No, any commerce doesn't just offer a fresh, convenient way to shop. It totally upends traditional advertising, leaving old school retail in the dust. To cut down on shopping friction, Amazon also launched one-click ordering, pre-saving customers' credit card info and shipping addresses. When customers place an order, just one click easily seals the deal. This tiny tweak added millions in yearly revenue for Amazon. For online shoppers, the biggest worries are fast shipping and whether it's free. For that, Amazon set up fulfillment centers to ramp up logistics efficiency. At first, Amazon used sorting machines from third-party vendors, requiring workers to batch orders together, pick items in bulk, and then have the machines sort goods for each order. For example, order A, 1 orange, 2 apples. Order B, 2 oranges, 1 apple. This required workers to gather all 3 oranges and 3 apples before distributing. This created a problem. If the apple picker was really slow, wouldn't that just waste time and kill efficiency? So Amazon scrapped third-party equipment and software, developed their own system where staff picked items per order directly from shelves, dramatically boosting logistics efficiency. Amazon's efficient delivery and precise shipping service made it stand out from competitors. In 2004, an employee suggested Amazon create a fast shipping club modeled after music subscription services. Customers would pay a monthly fee for free, speedy delivery. Bezos loved the idea, but finance immediately opposed it. Calculations showed it lose money based on shipping costs. If I mention e-readers, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Exactly, Kindle, Amazon's flagship star product. So what's the story behind Kindle? Actually, the world's first e-reader was called the Rocket ebook. In 1997, its developers approached Bezos seeking partnership. When Bezos saw the Rocket ebook prototype, his eyes lit up. He was fascinated by its compact design and long battery life. Sadly, negotiations collapsed. But ditching Rocket ebook didn't mean Bezos abandoned the e-reader market. In 2004, Apple's music service exploded onto the scene, with the iPod becoming that year's must-have gadget. This devastated Amazon's CD business. They were completely defenseless. It terrified them that Apple or others might seize another core business, books. Better to disrupt yourself than be disrupted by others. Under pressure from Apple's music dominance, Bezos formed a secret team, Lab 126-A for alphabet start, Z for its end. Their mission: build a revolutionary e-reader for the coming battle. There were objections too, fears that it hurt physical book sales and concerns about the high investment risk. Bezos dismissed these objections outright. He believed that to succeed in digital, like Apple did with music, visionary strategic, Amazon had to optimize user experience by merging sleek hardware with seamless digital stores. Lab 1236 gathered Silicon Valley's brightest engineers. They packed Kindle with cutting-edge tech, like e-ink displays, unlike LCD screens, readable even in direct sunlight. Plus, ultra-low battery drain and eye-friendly reading comfort. Kindle launched in 2007 and sold out instantly. For just $9.99, users got legitimate ebooks with near-paper reading experiences. Compared to US physical books costing $20 to $100, plus, ebook prices were wildly appealing. Amazon even offered free 3G wireless for effortless book downloads. So, how much did this game-changing handheld reader cost? Just $399 though. Amazon lost money per Kindle. How'd they profit then? The answer: selling digital content. The product has a set. Data shows while Amazon lost $500 million or more on Kindle hardware, they made $2 billion or more on digital content. So Kindle was essentially a hidden membership-style loss leader. Its purpose: lower barriers and boost user loyalty. Hardware losses were one-time, but future user purchases were recurring, making the whole system profitable. 2 years later, the simpler, user-friendly Kindle 2 launched to rave reviews. Before Nook or iPad existed, Amazon already held 90% of the US digital reading market. In short, Kindle transformed Amazon and redefined its digital future. The Kindle team member said, "We succeeded because we focused not on making the sexiest gadget, but on building what truly fulfills people's desires." All right, that's the story of Amazon for now. Finally, let's recap. We used 3 transformations to explain how Bezos led Amazon's growth. The first transformation is Bezos himself, transitioning from a hedge fund VP to a scrappy startup founder. After Bezos saw the massive growth potential of the internet, he didn't hesitate, driven by innate competitiveness and the regret minimization framework. The regret minimization framework enabled Bezos to realize his idea of opening an online store. The second transformation was from online bookstore to everything store. Bezos didn't care about short-term profits. He focused long-term, prioritized expansion, and put user experience first. Amazon attracted massive followers with efficient logistics and perpetual low prices. And with the flywheel theory, it ran faster and smoother. The third transformation was from a retail company to a tech company. To bind more businesses and users, Amazon built foundational platforms like AWS for companies and e-readers for individuals. Kindle, as Amazon flowed into the world's business systems like blood, it became a company hard to imitate and even harder to surpass. All right, that wraps up our interpretation of the Everything Store. The book notes are below the audio, and they include Bezos's recommended reading list. Among them, books like The Mythical Man Month, The Innovator's Dilemma, Good to Great, and The Black Swan. You can find great interpretations on Sally's Book Talk. See you tomorrow.